Hey guys, I'm Chris Egnoto. You're watching my YouTube channel again, so thanks a lot. Now I want to show you something that I think is really cool. Okay, I borrowed this from work because we have a whole bunch of them. This is a Vietnamese walking stick. No, sorry guys, I had to. This is the Vietnamese walking stick. Also called an Anaam walking stick. I don't know why. That's what they're called. Now, it's kind of easy to tell if you have a male or female, and let me tell you how. You can't exactly look up their skirt because they don't wear skirts. But the thing is if you find one of these, it's just about guaranteed to be a female. There are almost no males. Males are extremely rare among these guys. In fact, the way they mate is through parthenogenesis, which is basically asexual reproduction. You know, like, where's the fun in that? I don't know. But how they do so is the females themselves produce their own eggs. In fact, up to a few hundred of them. They just drop them along on the forest floor. This species does anyways. And what that winds up being is basically a genetic clone of the parent. Okay, so there's probably not a lot of genetic diversity in there. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do. I'm pretty sure mating has its cost. You know, it's probably kind of hard for them to find each other because they're so well camouflaged. Maybe the pheromones would give them away to predators or something like that. I'm not entirely sure why they do the parthenogenesis, but they do. Okay? And wait until you see the eggs. I can't wait to show you what the eggs are like. But this is the Vietnamese walking stick. Now, come in a little closer and I'm going to show you some close-up stuff of this girl. Their average lifespan is 5 to 7 months. The eggs will hatch in, 2 to 3 months. But they do reproduce a lot. Like I said, it's asexual. They don't even need a male to breed. Whatever you do, if you have these, do not release them in the wild. If you wind up with a whole bunch of them and you release any of them in the wild, you see how well they can reproduce. Just one walking stick can produce a lot of offspring. And they do feed off the plants. They are vegetarians. They don't eat meat. And around here they'll eat oak, some maples, rose plants, all sorts of different deciduous trees. And with all those babies, there's no real natural predators in our area, in our country, because they don't come from here. And that would be considered an invasive species because of how well they reproduce. So don't release any in the wild. Be very careful about that. Perfectly geared to look like a twig. Perfectly adapted, selected by nature because of its wonderful camouflage. So look at those spines on the legs, right? They can use those to defend themselves. Just kind of swipe the leg at a predator as it comes by or tries to eat them. They have claws and hairs on their feet that allow them to stick to surfaces. And let me tell you, these guys can hold on to glass really well. It's kind of impressive. Or these girls, I should say. Their natural predators are actually mammals, usually. Some insects. Look at that face. Look at those compound eyes. Really impressive. There's a good angle of its mouth parts. So you can see they're not sharp. They're not good for predation. They're just highly modified for eating plants. Some walking sticks do basically excrete a nauseous chemical, nauseous to predators. Foul smelling, tastes horrible and nasty. That's another defense, but their primary form of defense, of course, is this amazing camouflage. Okay, so here are their eggs. Okay, really neat looking. Really unique. I really love walking stick eggs, and just about every species has amazing eggs. They look different from one another. Some people say these look like beans. My girlfriend Ivy and my friend Irene both say they look like beans, and I see what they're talking about. They do. See that little plug at the end? That little plug is where the baby comes out. It kind of pops open.
Then the baby climbs out, the baby nymph, which resembles an ant. It looks a little bit like an ant. Don't they look like little pottery? Little pots with plugs at the ends? I just love walking stick eggs. But an interesting thing is when the babies emerge, when they hatch, they just look like miniature walking sticks, just tiny versions of the adults. But they also look quite similar to ant nymphs, okay, to baby ants. And what's really neat about these guys, I'll tell you in a second.
So I want to tell you something really neat about these eggs, the walking stick eggs. They have a thing called catipula on them, or catipulum, and that's pretty much a fatty deposit. What's really neat is these walking sticks will drop their eggs on the forest floor, and what happens is ants find those eggs. They really enjoy that fatty deposit, the catipulum. So they take the eggs, which resemble seeds, down into the ant nest, into the ant colony. And they'll eat off that fatty deposit, but they leave the egg itself alone. Eventually the egg hatches, and then that walking stick nymph, right, the baby walking stick, as I said, resembles an ant, a baby ant. So it has the added protection from predators and everything by living in the ant colony, okay? And then when it grows up, starts growing up and getting a little bit older, it leaves the ant nest, the ant colony, and usually climbs a nearby tree and spends its life there. Really cool stuff. So there you have it, Vietnamese walking stick. I'm Chris Egnoto. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please hit like if you like my video. Feel free to subscribe so you can see more videos, and feel free to comment. I love questions and comments. So thanks for watching my video, guys. Chris Egnoto, signing out.